Are you ready for a sonic adventure? This is the Fable from Walrus Audio, and it turns simple notes into ethereal washes of otherworldly ambience. If you prefer your pedal boards to be purely vanilla, then you might want to skip this pedal. But if your mind is open to using your guitar as a spacey, timey-wimey sound ambient machine, then stick around. To give it its full title, it's the Walrus Audio Fable Granular Soundscape Generator. Sounds impressive, right? Simply put, the Fable is a pimped-out granular delay pedal. And before I dive further into this demo and review, the word granular had me Googling, so if that's something new for you, I can help you out there. Granular delay chops up your audio signal into small grains or fragments and then plays them back with varying degrees of time shifting and pitch shifting. This granular technique allows for the creation of complex and evolving soundscapes, which can range from subtle and textural to glitchy and absolutely chaotic. I'm going to turn it off for a moment because that LED is super bright. But if you've played the lore from Walrus Audio, this layout will look very familiar because it's the same. If you haven't, we should go through the knobs and switches anyway because it is quite a complex pedal with a few hidden features. Let's start with the simple stuff. At the top right here is the mix knob. All the way to the left is going to give you 100% dry. All the way to the right is going to give you 100% wet. And you might think that the mix of those two is 50-50 in the middle, but my favorite mix setting is around 2 o'clock because the magic sort of happens in that last third of this mix knob. Although you can get it right down here if you just want some subtle weirdness behind some what I would call regular guitar rather than ambient. Okay, let's pop it back there. Mod is the modulation of that wet signal. So you can make that wet signal all warbly. Then underneath that we've got tone, and this is the tone again of the wet signal. It's not just like a guitar tone pot where you're going to roll off those highs or roll them down. There is some more complicated stuff going in here with low and high pass filters. This is a very intuitive tone knob, and I like to have it quite bright again up here. Then on the right is the program knob. We've got 5 different programs, all with 2 DSP chips being accessed inside the pedal. So there's no way to have just one effect. Every program has 2 effects, and those effects interact and feed back into each other, and you can control that with these 4 knobs just here. This diagram should help explain how that's happening. So we've got the input, that's where your signal's going in, that goes into DSP-A and into DSP-B and then out of the pedal. But DSP-A is also feeding back into itself and DSP-B is feeding back into DSP-A, and you can control that with the feedback, regen and the X knobs. Of course, the best way to explain these knobs is to actually use it, so I'll go through each of the 5 programs and show you how those knobs interact with each different algorithm. So program 1 is reverse delay into reverse granular, and the X knob for this, if you have it all the way to the left, gives you more smooth transients, and then the more you put it to the right, the more glitchy and chaotic it gets. So let's have a go at that. So there's lots of reverse stuff going on in this program. This is the Maybach Albatross, and I'm going into the Fender Deluxe Reverb through some vintage V30s, by the way. Not that that really matters, because this is one of those pedals where, dare I say, the guitar is just suggesting the tone. The pedal is really taking the wheel on this journey. Right, here's the clean tone. So no reverb or anything, no delay. And then program 1. And also there's a rise on this tap button, so you can change that rise to a dive by pressing the 2 foot switches together, giving us a blue LED. And that works on every program, by the way, so not just program 1. I kind of like the rise. I think it's kind of fun. The dive is cool. It's more cinematic, more deep. But yeah, reverse delay into reverse granular. Getting more glitchy. Okay, here is my favorite sound for program 1. Program 2 is forward delay, that's regular delay, into octave up granular. So when it's taking those little bits of your audio signal and splicing them around. Let's have a go on that one. I've accidentally gone a bit bluesy. That's not the sort of thing that you should be doing with the Fable. Love that little dive at the end. So weird having that note come after you play with that mix knob up. And then feedback, again, crazy stuff's going to happen when you max the regeneration, the regen, and the feedback, and the mix. Oh. A little tip, by the way, if it's on tails mode, which it currently is, and you can change that with turning it on with something held down. If you've got a long tail going on, hang on. If you change the program, it cuts it off immediately. Yeah, so you just cut it off by changing the program. Little tip for you there that I found out whilst panicking and trying to talk earlier, and I edited that part out because it was just going nuts. Right, this is my favourite setting for program 2. Program 3 is analog delay into octave down granular. So we're going the other way with the granular this time. 2 was up, this is down. So this is going to be darker and more mysterious and evil, I assume. So we're going to definitely be in something minor. Let's have a play with that, see what that sounds like. Turn it on. Okay, time. Brilliant fun. Okay, that is deep and mysterious. Maybe we should play a really low note on that, actually. As it's a delay pedal, if you play a wrong note or a jazz note, then you're going to hear it several times. Program 3, that's a beautiful little program that makes me unable to speak. I'll edit in one of my favorite settings now. I'll play around with it rather than make you stick around with me for too long. So here's my favorite setting for program 3. Setting number 4, which is multi-tap granular into multi-tap granular, giving you something called grain verb. I have no idea what that is. Let's hear what it sounds like. There we go. That was number 3. Sorry. It's a big old cavern, is what that is. What about the mix about in that sort of 2 o'clock position is my favourite position. That's beautiful. What a great patch that is. Oh, program, sorry. That is really usable. Even not just as an ambient thing. That's a usable sort of I don't want to say indie rocky kind of. You could get some actual music out of that rather than just cinematic. Not that that sounds like I'm saying cinematic isn't music. I mean as a guitar player, you could stay in your guitar player mode. And then people will be saying, what is that reverb, that grittiness that's underneath that main riff? That could be some secret sauce on something. I'm using that on something in the future, and people will ask me, "What did you use there?" And I'll say, "I'm not telling. But it'll be this." Right. This is my favorite setting, or one of them, from Program 4. Right, Program 5, the last, final, never to return, is forward delay, so regular delay, into randomized pitch granular. Wait. I'm not sure about that one. Alright, if anyone ever says that you can't play regular guitar with this pedal, they're wrong. That was, with the time set down all the way, that's minimum, and it's really flashing like a mofo. Yeah, you could add some weird delay reverby stuff. Kind of ring modulating. Let's just boost those for a second. Kind of like Star Wars plays guitar, like a droid that with 6 strings. Okay, here is my favorite setting, or one of them again, for Program 5. If you watched my review of the 𝗨𝗨, you know that I really enjoyed that, and if you haven't seen that, then I will link to it down there somewhere. But I think the Fable's better. I really enjoyed living in the soundscapes of the 𝗨𝗨, but I really enjoy living in and generating the soundscapes within the Fable. And you could use this in a band context as a regular delay if you put that time all the way down and just have it just sitting there with the mix. You could get away with this as a standard spatial pedal. But that's not what it's for. It's about generating soundscapes. That got me saying it now. And this is fun. If you're doing ambient music, then you used to have 13, 14, 15 delay pedals and reverb pedals and link them all together. Now you can do it with just one or two or three, but this one would just be, there's some beautiful sounds that I've managed to create today, and I'm really, really happy as a musician to play with this thing and create just music, not just weird bloopy, glitchy, blippy, bloppy noises, which is also fun, of course. But yeah, I like the way it complements the guitar as well as takes over the guitar and makes you think that the sound you're creating is not a guitar. So it does both. Some pedals just do guitar that has delay, and some pedals do soundscapes that don't sound like guitar. And this one has a really good mix of both those worlds, which is unusual for a lot of pedals. So well done, Walrus Audio. That being said, it's not perfect. There's a fair amount of hiss when you increase the mix up the top. This is nothing really to be worried about because you're also feeding a lot of sound. But you will kind of notice it, and the more you push that mix up, the more hiss you're going to get. It is not something that I really want to complain about, but it is there. Build quality seems great. These knobs are a joy to switch and turn and flip around and twiddle. They're soft touch knobs. We've got top mounted jacks. It's 9 volts. It uses about 300 milliamps. So it's not going to wreck your pedal board should you need to add something else. And the design on it. The design is from an artist in Austria, believe it or not, which is where I live. And he's about 2 hours away in Vienna. And yeah, he did that. And I like it. I like it a lot. If Walrus Audio were to say to me, Andy, you can have a special The Guitar Geek edition of the Fable, what should we do to it? I would say, Walrus Audio, please make it stereo, because imagine all that ping-ponging delay going left and right. That would take this certainly over the edge of awesome and make this an absolute must-buy. And to have a couple of presets. So imagine it's a little bit bigger, like over here, and you've got some presets, maybe on a switch because it would be mainly for recording for me. And then it's stereo. And then we'd have, I think, the perfect delay granular ambient pedal. Make that, please, Walrus Audio. And I guess that's it. So if you're a guitar player that is open to creating soundscapes, or if you play alone only in your bedroom and you want to make something that fills your ears with a total frequency range of sonic goodness, then the Fable should absolutely be on your to-do, to try, to buy list. If you're in a rock and roll band and you're just playing 3 chords with a tube screamer and a Marshall amp, which is fine, then you probably don't need this. But you should try it anyway when you go into a music shop, just to broaden your horizons. If you can't get to a music shop, there are links in the video description where you can purchase the Fable, amongst other things that I used in this video. You've reached the end of the video club, and to prove that you I haven't done this for a while. To prove that you are a member of this prestigious elite, when you leave your comment down below telling me what you think about the Fable, please also include the phrase, I am Groot. And that'll let me know that you watched this part, and we can all have a jolly good laugh. And yeah, genuinely let me know what you think of the pedal and the sounds that I made, but also say that as well, so we know that you've, watched this bit. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching. I will join you in one of those videos over there, should you wish. If you enjoyed this so much you want to subscribe, then please feel free to do so. And yeah, thumbs up and all that stuff. I will see you very soon. Take care of yourselves. Go make some music. Bye-bye.